Hello everyone! Today we are going to be continuing to look at 2D shapes, but seeing what patterns we can make using these 2D shapes. Our star words of today are pattern, shape, under, big, small, continue, hidden and repeated. Repeated means something that happens again and again in the same way. See if you can use any of these star words throughout the lesson today. Let's start with a power-up to warm up those brains. For today's power-up, you are going to need a piece of paper and a pen. What I would like your adult to do is to put 1 minute on the clock. And in that minute, I want to see how many numbers from 0 to 20 you can write down. Don't worry if you can't get all of them in 1 minute, just see how many you can do. After 1 minute, stop, and then we can check your numbers. Pause the video and start your timer now. Have you done that? Wonderful. Now let's look on the next page and see all the numbers in the correct order. Check your numbers with the numbers on the screen. Did you manage to get them in the right order and the right way round? Brilliant. If not, don't worry. You can keep practicing your numbers from 0 to 20. Let's discover today's learning. Here we have a picture of an invitation to a party. Now this person has decorated their invitation with lots of different patterns. Along each side they've chosen a new pattern. What I'd like you to do first is pause the video and see what patterns you can spot. You can discuss this with the person you're with. Pause the video now. Have you done that? Fantastic. I'll show you some of the patterns that I've noticed. Along the top, I noticed small circle, big circle, small circle, big circle, small circle, big circle. Along this side, I noticed the pattern red square, blue square, red square, blue square, red square. Along the bottom, I noticed the pattern upside down triangle, right way round triangle, upside down triangle, right way round triangle. And then along this side, I noticed the pattern vertical rectangle, horizontal rectangle, vertical rectangle, horizontal rectangle. There are lots of different patterns to spot. Let's look at our first question that we have here. 1A says, what shape is under the mug? Here I can spot my mug. I think the best way to find out the answer is to go through the pattern and think about what one would come next. Can you do this with your adult and find out what shape is under the mug? Pause the video now and have a little think. Do you know what shape it would be? Let's find out together. I'm going to go through my pattern. Small circle, big circle, small circle, big circle, small circle, big circle, small circle, big circle. What would be next? That's right, a small circle would come next. That's what must be under my mug. Right, let's look at question 1B. How many rectangles are there on the invite? Now I know my rectangles were all over here. I'll count how many I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know there's 5 already, but there are some underneath the pencil case. I'll have to continue my pattern to find out how many are hiding under that pencil case, and then I can count them along with the 5 I've already counted. Do you think you could do that with your adult? Continue the pattern and find out how many rectangles are under the pencil case. Pause the video now and have a think about it. Have you done that? Amazing. I'll do that now. horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. Next I know would be a horizontal, then most likely another vertical, and then another horizontal before this vertical that I can see. That means there must be 3 rectangles behind that pencil case. I can add those onto my 5. I'll put 5 in my head and 3 on my fingers. 5, 6, 7, 8. There must be 8 rectangles in total. Today we are going to be thinking all about patterns with our 2D shapes. Let's think together about how we could continue these patterns on the screen. We'll start with this pattern here. What I'd like you to do is, with your adult, is to say what pattern you can see on the screen. Then you can think about what shapes would need to come next in this pattern here. Pause the video and see if you can do that. Have you managed that? Excellent. Let's say the pattern together. Come and join with me. Triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle. What would come next? That's right, circle. Let's see what the next shape would be in our pattern now. Triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle. Fantastic. That is how we would complete this pattern. Now let's move on to our next pattern. What I would like you to do is say the pattern out loud to the person you are with. Then see if you can spot what the next 2 shapes and sizes would be in this pattern. Pause the video now and have a go. Have you done that? Excellent. Let's say the pattern together to find out what would come next. I can see here that this pattern is using all of the same shapes. They're all using squares. The difference is if it's a big square or a small square. So I'm going to say big square, small square whilst doing this pattern. You ready? Let's do it together. Big square, small square, big square, small square, big square, small square. What would come next? That's right, a big square again. Let's say the pattern one more time to find what our last shape would be, or our last size of the shape would be. Big square, small square, big square, small square, big square, small square, big square. Well done. Small square is going to come next. Right, our final pattern is this one down here. Do you think you could say the pattern to the person you're with and then figure out what the next 2 shapes in the pattern would be? Pause the video and do this now. Well done. Let's go through the pattern together. Say it out loud with me. I'm going to be saying the names of the shapes this time because there are some different shapes. Rectangle, rectangle, circle. Rectangle, rectangle, circle. Rectangle. What would come next? I know my pattern went rectangle, rectangle, circle. I'm going to go through it one more time because this one was a bit more tricky. See if you can tell me what the next shape is going to be. Rectangle, rectangle, circle. Rectangle, rectangle, circle. Rectangle, rectangle. What's going to be next? Circle. Fantastic. Your task for today is to see if you can continue the patterns on the screen. There are 3 different patterns. You can draw them into your workbooks and then complete the next few shapes. Don't forget to say your pattern out loud, because that really helps. Once you've done that, if you'd like a challenge, then you can see if you can create your very own pattern using 2D shapes. Your pattern can be however you like, as long as it's repeating. Don't forget to send pictures of your amazing patterns to your teachers. I'm sure they're going to be very excited to see. Well done for all your hard work on patterns today. You've done an excellent job. I will see you all next week. Goodbye.